So last night I had a quick dream. I only remember a few parts of it. So I'm gonna share the few parts of it. So I actually didn't understand the meaning of the dream, but I knew that these few parts of it was the most important part. And I actually didn't remember right away. Like when I started to pray, I didn't even think I had any dreams. But as soon as I started to pray, I actually remembered my dream and the different parts of the dream. And then I didn't know what it really meant. And I just keep thinking about it all morning, like, what does it mean? What does it mean? And so I started talking to my son about it, and he actually interpreted the dream, and I understood what he was saying. So I'm going to share it. So prior to the dream, I don't know what happened beforehand, but I know that I was behind my house, and behind my house we have this lake, like this little creek, I guess, a creek. And the waters, it doesn't look like this, but I saw the waters overflowing, kind of like this. So the waters were overflowing, and the creek was overflowing, and it kind of stopped at a certain point. And then in my mind, I said, whoa, this is crazy. I've never seen anything like this. And then I decided to measure it with my feet. And so I measured it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, with 1 foot in front of the other, just 1 foot in front of the other. And I left off to the number 7, where I reached the gate. So in my neighborhood, we have, everybody has this long gate, there's woods, and it goes back to like a state park basically. And then there's another neighborhood behind that. But in the middle of that, there's a creek. And there's gates, right? To show that this is your property. So 7 feet, 7 foot, the length was not touched by the waters. And I reached the gate. And I told my mother-in-law, I said, this is weird, I knew this was the signs of living in the last days. I knew it. And she said, this can't be, this can't be. And so she took a measuring rod and she began to measure it herself. And then I woke up and I said, wow, this is a really weird dream. I'm not really sure what it means. The number 7 was very specific, and I've seen the number 7 throughout scriptures. And then I talked to my son about it, and he said this is what he thinks it means. He thinks it means it has to do with the 7 trumpets, and that the waters come forward with each trumpet blown, reach into that moment where we're supposed to be taken out of here. And I said, okay, that's pretty cool. That's really interesting. I felt that's there's 7 trumpets, and then the waters are being released each trumpet, because the waters was getting closer to the fence. And I felt the need to warn my mother-in-law, because I live with her. And she said, this can't be so. And I said, what do you think about that, to my son? What do you think this means? And he said, this has to do with atheists that don't believe. That they don't see the sign, and that they have to measure it out for themselves. They have to see this out for themselves. So I was pretty satisfied with the interpretation, but let me know what you guys think about it. So rewind about the dream. I have a creek behind my house. It's actually almost dried up. That's the crazy part. But in the dream, I saw it overflowing. And I decided to measure the dry land to the gates. And I did it with my feet. So I went 1 foot in front of the other and got to 7 feet from the gate, dry land. And then I said to my mother-in-law, like, something's not right. We're living in the last days, something like that. And I've never seen anything like this. And I think she agreed to me with a certain point, but then she's like, this can't be. And then she had to get a measuring rod for herself and measure it herself. So, what do you guys think it is? Let me know in the comments below. Peace.